Even to our north in Oregon, and a lot of that's been bringing smoke and air quality issues to the Bay Area. Let's check in now with Ground 4's Gail Long for a look at the conditions. Hey, Gail.
Yes, so we have the fires from the Pacific Northwest, and that circulation in the wind is bringing some of that drift smoke over to the Bay Area, so you may notice some hazy skies this weekend. As for right now, here's the big picture statewide. We do have moderate air quality in the Bay Area, but you can see that poor air quality is visible in Southern California and in the Pacific Northwest in Oregon, where those wildfires are burning. So moderate air for now. Expect the similar conditions tomorrow. So here's that smoke forecast. You see that heavy smoke, and this light blue color, it does indicate that haze we will be seeing here. Usually we see the black, which means we're in the clear, but doesn't look like it this weekend. So if you're sensitive to that, look out for some moderate air quality across the Bay Area, except for the North Bay. It looks like you have good air quality tomorrow. As for our temperatures, you'll notice a change starting Sunday. That ridge of high pressure that's been warming us up is now moving east and breaking apart. Low pressure will be cooling us down for the next couple of days. You'll see it in the 10 at 10 in just a bit. So here are Saturday's daytime highs. We have the fog over by Golden Gate Park, so partly cloudy skies for outside land, 60 degrees for you tomorrow, 60s around San Francisco. Along the peninsula, it will be cloudy as well, upper 50s and low 60s. And then we have some mild temperatures as you make your way towards South San Francisco, upper 60s, 78 in Burlingame, and some 80s in towards the South Bay and in Santa Clara County. That's when it starts to warm up in the mid to upper 80s, even 90s in Morgan Hill. So the usual warm areas, we will see some low 90s like in Pleasanton and Livermore, and the East Bay shoreline, 77 in Hayward, 73 in Union City, 74 in Oakland, and 75 in San Leandro. And then you start to see some 90s in Walnut Creek and Danville. Brentwood looks like it's triple digits, so the hottest areas once again. And then to the North Bay, if you're going wine tasting, we have some 80s for you in Napa and Sonoma, and more 90s, low 90s over in Santa Rosa, 60s along the coast. And here's the 10 at 10 outlook. It looks like tomorrow's that last hot day in the 90s, at least inland, and then starting Sunday, it looks like we're holding on to the 80s for the next week or two. 70s and 60s along the Bay Shore, 60s by the coast. But it looks like that natural AC is back in the forecast after, very hot July.
Oh,
and even this week, we reached triple digits in some places.
Yeah, but it's a good looking forecast, though. Yeah. Keeping it 80s comfortable, we can live with that.
Yeah, I know a lot of you guys here in the Bay Area like the 80s.
Yeah, you don't want it to be too hot, right? Not too. We're spoiled here.
That's the feedback.
All right, Gil, thank you.
Sure.
All right, well, in a move that's rarely seen in... All right, let's get you a check of your forecast tonight, taking a live look at Coit Tower, which the top half of it has just been gobbled up by the fog. Of course, it's this time of year, right, Gail?
Yes, that Bay Area summer setup. We have the evening fog and clouds that will linger into the morning, and then we see some afternoon sun, especially inland. So we also have cloudy skies from the East Bay Hills, so we all are shrouded in that. And here is SFO as well. We have the clouds over there. So let's take a look at the Futurecast model overnight. You could see some coastal drizzle as well, and you could see that building up overnight and then lingering on into the morning for Saturday, and things start to mix out, and we see some afternoon sun just around lunchtime. So that area of high pressure that's been warming us up, it's breaking apart, moving east to the desert southwest, and we have low pressure that will be dropping in, and this will be cooling us down for the next couple of days or so. You'll notice a change starting Sunday. So air quality, look out for some moderate air quality. We have some fires in not only Northern California, but in the Pacific Northwest as well. That circulation in the wind is bringing drift smoke here to us. Good air quality for you in the North Bay. So overnight lows will be in the 50s and low 60s inland, and of course those clouds will be rolling in and the patchy fog as well. And then we'll be warming up to very similar temperatures that we saw today, like low 90s inland in Livermore, Concord, and also in Santa Rosa. Will be a little warmer in the North Bay to the low 90s. 86 degrees for you in San Jose, 70s along the East Bay shoreline, and the coast will remain the coolest spot as usual. So really the big change will be around our inland communities because it's been hot. I know we reached triple digits earlier this week inland. So one last day with the 90s, we'll have some hot weather for you, and then starting Sunday, we'll start to gradually cool down to the 80s, and even in the Bay Shore, Sunday, Monday, it looks like we'll be in the upper 60s, so much cooler there, and then we'll be trending, we'll be holding on to the 80s for a while, so that natural AC is back in the forecast. I don't see extreme heat anytime soon.
Okay, well, that's good. 80s we can live with. I know you said before, like, yeah, we don't really like the triple digits that much. At least I'm one of the
back
people
to back, it could be difficult.
Yeah, a little too much. But 80s is real good. And hey, you know, hopefully not too much fog. I know it's that time of year, but you know, we want a little clear sky too.
Yes.
All right, Gail. Thank you.
Sure.
A couple of NBA for Vermont, where President Biden has approved an emergency declaration in a state that is still recovering from last month's floods from Hurricane Beryl. And for a little bit more on this storm, we've got KRON 4's Gail Long tracking it for us. Pretty powerful stuff.
Yes, and it's made landfall as a hurricane at Category 1 on Monday. So it's definitely wreaked some havoc. And it also just brought some devastating floods over in upstate New York, rural Pennsylvania, and rural New York. So here's where now post-tropical storm Debbie is right now, 140 miles northeast of Montreal. The winds are about 35 miles per hour, and it's moving northeast at 39 miles per hour. So it's expected to leave the northeast, the New England area, sometime Saturday morning. And there will still be some disturbance in the east coast, but looks like the worst of it has just starting to move out of the United States. And this is the satellite loop from the last 12 hours. Definitely brought some heavy downpours and some flooding to upstate New York. And this, you could just see that strong line of thunderstorms. This actually prompted some tornado watches and warnings over towards that area. So definitely a strong storm that packed a punch. Back here in the Bay Area, it's all about the clouds and the fog rolling in overnight, and you can expect that to linger on into the morning, and we'll see some afternoon sun. Tomorrow's daytime highs will be very similar to what we saw today in the low 90s, 95 in Concord, 93 in Livermore, 86 in San Jose, 70s along the East Bay shoreline, 92 expected in Santa Rosa. And it looks like this will be the last day on Saturday where we'll see the 90s for a while, because we're cooling down to the 80s, as you could see, starting Sunday inland. So you'll get a break from the heat for you inland, because it was a hot one this week. We reached triple digits earlier this week. Now we're trending down to the 80s. A huge difference in the temperatures. Around the Bay, too, Sunday, you'll be in the upper 60s, and then go back to the 70s by the end of the week. 60s will be cooler at the coast. Dan.
All right, Gail, thanks a lot.
All right, taking a live look now at the view from Mount Tam. An air quality advisory has been extended through the weekend because of some lingering wildfire smoke. Hazy skies expected again tomorrow. KRON 4's Gail Long is back.
Yeah, so expect some moderate air quality tomorrow. We should see some improvement, but if you notice hazy skies, that is why. At this hour, we do have pockets of moderate air quality in the East Bay, mainly by the Delta. So we have several wildfires in Northern California and even the Pacific Northwest. That direction of the wind speeds is bringing some drift smoke to us. And then it looks like Monday will be much better. That dark color there indicates cleaner air, but the park fire smoke and the Crozier fire smoke is impacting the Tahoe area. Usually we would go to the mountains for fresh air, so that's not the case this weekend. Moderate air quality expected over by the coast, but we look okay tomorrow. And we have a low pressure that will be taking over tomorrow. So that ridge of high pressure that's been warming us up, moving out of here. And this, you'll notice the change starting tomorrow, because we'll be down to the 80s in our inland communities. And you'll also notice some cloudy skies as well. Usually we see this pattern in the evening with the fog and linger on into the morning. Around lunchtime, we do get a break in the clouds, but the late afternoon and evening, those clouds return. So expect some cloudy skies tomorrow, and also some breezy conditions as that trough drops in. So tomorrow will be breezy, and it looks like Monday will be breezy throughout the day as well, maybe like 20 to 30 miles per hour as well. Overnight lows will be in the 50s, upper 50s as you make your way inland, and of course you'll be waking up to those clouds. And daytime highs, this is the start of that cooling trend to the 80s inland, 70s along the East Bay shoreline, 60s along the coast. And here's that 7-day outlook. You can notice we're holding on to the 80s for the next couple of days. Long-range models are showing just about where we should be this time of year in August. Back to you.
Gail, thank you very much.